Hi, welcome to our channel of IGNOU Audiobooks. Indira Gandhi National Open University, School of Continuing Education, Certificate Programs, Certificate in Food and Nutrition, CFN to your food and its utilization. Block-4 Nutrition from School Age to Old Age, Unit-13 Nutrition through Life Cycle Adulthood. In the previous unit we have learnt about the growth spurt in adolescence. This period is followed by adulthood. This unit will deal with nutrient requirements, factors affecting nutrient requirements, and some specific problems like heart diseases, diabetes, etc., which can arise in this period. 13.0 Objectives. After studying this unit, you will be able to specify the nutritional requirements of adults. Explain effect of sex, occupation on nutrient requirements, and suggest ways of meeting nutrient needs for adults of different socio-economic strata. 13.1 Introduction. For practical purposes you can consider adulthood as the period of time beginning from 25 years up to 60 years or more. After 60 years the aging process quickens. People over 60 are still adults, but they are older adults. As adults, your main concern is to maintain your body in good health. As you know already, during early adulthood physical growth and development stops. Therefore, you need to supply adults with sufficient nutrients only to maintain body functions. In Unit 7, you learned about basal metabolic rate and energy needs of your body. It is important to remember that as age increases, the metabolic rate slowly decreases so that adults need less calories to meet the basal energy needs of the body. This is because, as your body grows older, ages, it is renewing less cells and tissues and therefore needs less energy to keep it going. However, nutrition is of great importance still. 1. To maintain the body function, and 2. To prevent the development of diseases such as heart diseases, diabetes, which may occur due to faulty eating dietary habits. Age, occupation and level of activity can determine the nutrient needs of an adult. We will discuss these aspects in this unit. 13.2 Nutrient Requirements of Adults. In Unit 2 you have learned that nutritional needs of adults are determined by many factors which include body size, age, climate, extent of physical activity as well as altered physiological states such as pregnancy and lactation. Since individuals differ in body size and age as well as in the amount of physical activity, experts recommend nutrient intakes based on reference body weight of Indians about which you have read in Unit 2 of Block 2. Their age, height and physical activity are also specified. You then make adjustments for those individuals who differ or deviate from the standard reference. The intakes recommended by the Indian Council of Medical Research for adults have already been given to you in Unit 2. You know that women require less energy and other nutrients than men because they are smaller in size and lighter. Men have more muscle mass, which is metabolically active and so they need more energy. On the other hand, women need less energy because they have more amount of adipose tissue, fatty, naturally vitamins like thiamine, riboflavin and niacin which are needed to metabolize the food to obtain energy will be needed in lesser amounts by women. The more the amount of physical activity that you do, the higher is your energy requirement. Women have higher iron requirements than men because they lose some amount of iron through menstruation. Requirements for calcium, vitamin A, and folic acid are the same for an adult man and woman. Balanced diet for Adult man and adult woman are presented in Table 13.1 and Table 13.2. Sample menu is presented in Table 13.3. Table 13.1, Balanced diet for sedentary man with nutrient content values. Look at the screen for table content. Table 13.2, Balanced diet for sedentary woman with nutrient content values. Look at the screen for table content. Table 13.3, Sample menu for an adult man and adult woman. Look at the screen for table content. Breakfast. Poha bread 2 slices and butter chapati dhokla idlis 2. Chutney. Tea coffee. Guava orange musambi. Lunch. Rice 2 serving, 2 small katoris. Chapati 3. Dal 1 katori. Vegetable palak -1 katori. Salad. Curd. Tea time. Tea coffee. Biscuits 2-3. Dinner. Rice 2 servings. Chapati 3-4. Dal 1 katori. Raitha, tomato or cucumber. Potato bhaji. Papad. As you can see, cereals and dal are always a part of the menu. Make sure you include sufficient vegetables and fruits, especially green leafy vegetables. Yellow-orange vegetables like carrot or pumpkin 3 to 4 times a week. These vegetables and fruits like papaya and mango will provide you with the protective vitamins A and C. Fruits like guava give you vitamin C. Check your progress. Exercise 1. 1. What are the factors affecting nutritional requirements in adulthood? 2. Give a sample menu for a sedentary adult woman. 3. How would you modify the menu we have given if you have to advise a manual laborer, adult man? You are listening to this audiobook on Audio Learn IGNOU. 13.3 Diet and Social Considerations. Adults need less energy than children, but they have a lot of social obligations to fulfill and perform. From your own experience, you know that in all families, food is an important aspect of all these obligations. Suppose you invite your friend home in the afternoon hours, you also take some refreshments whether you need it or not. Very often when you have guests, you will prepare a variety of foods, and often there are a lot of calorie-rich foods. Thus, many adults consume more energy than their bodies require. As adults, most people have busy schedule. If you are working, you may have to eat away from home. Many people have lunch in restaurants where nourishing meals including fresh fruits and vegetables may not be available. Many restaurants offer menu items that have more fat, oil, sugar, etc. so that eating prudently may be difficult. This in turn leads to consuming calorie-rich foods without really getting a balanced diet. All adults who are working must have lunch. Many people may take a packed lunch. Here are some tips for a filling, nutritious lunch. 1. Methi dal paratha, potato bhaji, guava. 2. Idli, chutney, carrot and cucumber pieces, salad, and chili -1-2 pieces. From Unit 11, you already know what points you should keep in mind while planning and preparing a packed lunch. Check your progress. Exercise 2. 1. List the points you need to bear in mind for a packed lunch. 2. If you have to advise a manual laborer of 40 years age about a packed lunch, what menu would you suggest? Always eat in accordance with your energy expenditure so that you do not put on weight. In the middle years of life, many people complain of heartburn, constipation, lack of vitality, etc. More often than not, it is because these individuals eat more than what their body needs and do not exercise enough. Remember that nutrient requirements remain stable throughout the adult years, except for iron. When a woman reaches menopause, her need for iron decreases. As individuals grow older, they should gradually reduce their calorie consumption. However, it is important for older adults to have adequate intakes of all other nutrients, especially vitamins and minerals. All adults must eat according to needs. Remember, eating more food than you need leads to you're putting on weight. If you are overweight or obese, you have a greater risk of developing heart disease or diabetes, etc. 13.4 Fulfilling nutrient needs at different socio-economic levels. In Table 13.1 and 13.2, we have given you information on the amount of different foodstuffs that you can include in planning balanced diet for sedentary man and woman. This amount of food from the food groups would depend upon which category of physical work you belong to. However, what you can eat and what you must eat often differ according to what you can afford. How will you meet the nutritional needs of people with varying food budgets? The guideline for food selection will still be the daily food guide. One of the aspects that makes it possible to meet nutritional needs at low cost is that cereals, milk, toned, and oils and sugar are available through fair price shops at subsidized prices. Table 13.3 presents the food choices for an adult man at 3 levels of income: low, medium, and high. Table 13.3 Food choices for an adult man. Look at the screen for table content. Cereals and cereal product. You can buy cereals from the fair price shop and also use more servings from this food group to limit food cost. If you belong to the middle income group, you may buy medium cost varieties, while those with higher income may choose expensive varieties of cereals. Basmati rice. Please remember the nutrients you get from cereals, cheap or expensive ones, are the same. Protein foods. As you know, there is a great variation of prices in this group. You can vary the number of servings of dal, the kind and amount of milk, toned or whole, and the variety of foods, dry or fresh fish, meat, depending on your food budget. However, even at low cost, you can include 3 servings of these foods. Vegetables and fruits. When you wish to restrict food expenses, you include only the minimum number of servings of seasonal vegetables and fruits. Your choices are restricted to those which have a high amount of edible portion. For example, you mostly buy French beans, which have 95% edible portion, not peas which have only 50%. The choice of foods and variety will increase as you move from middle to higher income level. For example, your choice will vary from ordinary mangoes to Alfonso mangoes, depending on your food budget. Please remember, the nutrients you get from any leafy vegetables are similar and do not relate to the cost. Oils, fats and sugar. You find that there is great variation in the fats and oils used according to income. If your budget is limited, you buy refined oil and sugar from a fair price shop. You use minimum amounts of these foods. When your budget is low, as income increases, you can include some ghee and butter instead of vanaspati. Please remember to restrict the intake of foods from this group so that there is neither gain nor loss of weight. When you have home-produced foods, if you keep poultry, have dairy, cattle, and/or grow fruits and vegetables in your compound, you can use these without incurring excessive costs. Thus you know that normally you can meet the nutritional needs of people of all strata by a judicious selection of foods based on the daily food guide. The Poverty group, however, is a class by itself which requires financial inputs too. Make the minimum choices of foods for a balanced diet. Practical activity 1. 1. Prepare a menu for a very active male worker. Calculate the cost. Breakfast, lunch, tea, dinner. 2. List of foods from each group, which you can buy at low cost. 13.5 Let US sum UP. Adulthood extends from the age of 25 to 60 years and more. Nutrient needs are only for maintenance since growth has already ceased. Energy needs and consequently requirements for thiamine, riboflavin, and niacin will vary, largely with energy expenditure. Iron requirements of women are higher than for men because they lose some iron through their menstrual period. After menopause, iron requirements of men and women are similar. Physiological alterations in metabolism like pregnancy and lactation do increase nutritional needs. Foods must be selected carefully if you have to meet nutritional needs within a limited food budget. Food intake must be such that people do not put on weight, which becomes a risk factor for certain diseases. You are listening to this audiobook on Audio Learn IGNOU. 13.6 Answers to check your progress. Exercises. Check your progress. Exercise 1. 1. Factors which affect nutritional requirements during adulthood are body size, age, climate, extent of physical activity, and physiological states, such as pregnancy and lactation. 2. Refer to the sample menu for an adult man and adult woman in table 13.3. 3. A manual laborer would require more energy-giving foods such as cereals and fats. In the sample menu, the following additions would be required. Breakfast, additional to slices of bread or idlis. Lunch, additional serving of rice, additional serving of dal. Dinner, additional serving of rice and chapati. Check your progress. Exercise 2. 1. A. It should be easy to eat and not spill or leak. B. It should be as dry as possible. C. Since it will always be cold, those foods should be avoided which are tasty when hot but not when cold. 2. A. Methi parantha. B. Potato bhaji. C. Guava. D. Carrot and cucumber salad. E. Chikki. Thank you. We will see you in the next video.